What's up, guys? I'm back. Um, I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the stuff from my last video concerning statistics, concerning 704 games, the development of the game, and just NASCAR games overall. There's a few things I just want to get off my chest. And yeah, so let's just get into it. Before I do that, I want to thank all of you guys out there that have shown support for my opinions. Okay, especially What If Racing and all of you guys. Who've shown support. I really appreciate it. As I've said before, I'm going to say it again. I don't do this for any personal reason. I don't get anything out of this. I started doing these videos really, it's just as a NASCAR gaming fan that felt like something had to be done about the direction, the way these games were being made, going back to 2011. And I just got fed up with what I saw, and I saw what was coming, and I saw the direction that Technics was taking, and I didn't have another way to, I didn't know what else to do. So I started making videos. And it was initially just a place to rant. And I was so upset about a lot of the things from Technics, and I had to lash out. And that's how I started. And believe it or not, I felt a little better. A good rant sometimes makes you feel better, but doesn't necessarily accomplish anything. And so as you guys know, those of you who followed me and have been watching my videos, you know that I'm pretty much a straight shooter. I just tell you how I think about something or how I feel, and most of my videos are about just that, NASCAR games. So my goal has always been to help guide the development of these games to a better place, because I truly believe that I have a good idea of what would make a really good NASCAR game, and I can see certain things that don't work, won't work, and things that will work, and things, basically I think I'm good with ideas. I don't know how to develop NASCAR games. I never claimed I did. And I know it's difficult. I know it's not easy to develop a NASCAR game. I've been very clear about all these things. But, of course, you're always going to get a bunch of people that show up and tell you to stop complaining. Don't buy the game. Go play iRace. I've heard it all. And I've also addressed these people in other videos. So, I don't think they help NASCAR game development. I think they hurt it, because they kind of just stand up and defend whatever products are put out there, and they try to shut you down. Like, oh, why don't, I'm sick and tired of hearing your complaints. Well, don't come here. I don't really need people to come here. If you come here, I want it to be because you respect what I have to say, and you're interested in hearing my opinion on something. And if you're not, that's great. You don't have to agree with everything, but if you really don't, you know what you're getting with me, don't come. I don't need you. I don't need likes. And quite frankly, I've never asked for subscribers. To me, if you want to subscribe, I appreciate it, but it's strictly because, let it be because you respect my opinions, not because of any other reason. And that's why it should be unsolicited from me. I don't have an ulterior motive. I don't get money out of this. I don't really get anything out of it. I'm doing this because I'm trying to help. And I don't have all the answers. And if I'm wrong about something, I've always been open to that. So I don't want people to misunderstand where I'm coming from. And as far as the developers at 704, if any one of them happens to see one of my videos or is watching this, please understand I am rooting for you. I want you to succeed. I want you to create the best possible games, right? So I'm being supportive, but I'm being honest. And constructive criticism, for me, in my opinion, is the best way to address the issues that are keeping these games from being everything they can be. So I don't want any developer to take anything I say personally. I realize that these guys are doing a difficult job, and it's not easy, and they're trying to appease people, but you can't appease everyone. I've said that many times. If you watch my videos, you'll know that I'm not some 12-year-old kid who thinks my whole checklist of my wish list is going to be all, taken care of. That's not how it works. Which is why I've also made it clear to tell people, be careful what you ask for. So don't ask for 20 different things all over the map. Figure out what you really want, what you consider most important, and then focus on sending that message so that the developer understands, okay, these guys really want this, this, and this. Let's try to get this done, okay? And then we can work on other things as well. But when you have 100 different ideas coming from everywhere across the spectrum, you never know what a developer is going to say, okay, well, let's do this. Now, I know it sounds like I've been really harsh about the split screen co-op. I never said that they shouldn't have done it. And I've said I'm happy for those of you who are going to use it and enjoy it. I'm not going to use it, but that doesn't mean I don't appreciate the fact that they implemented it and some of you are going to use it. My point has always been that when you look at the entire consumer base for this type of game, I truly don't believe that there's going to be a lot of people using the split screen co-op. I do think it's an outdated feature. That doesn't mean it was bad for them to insert it. My problem is that when you omit other areas of the game that are far more important, when you neglect to address those things, but you took time and resources out to make sure this works, that is not a good, sound decision. Because you're appeasing a handful of people, but other parts of the game that affect the majority of the people that buy this game are not being addressed. They're not being taken care of. Statistics has been a serious pet peeve of mine because we've been seeing this year after year. And Eutechnics started this in 2011, and I was shocked to see when that game came out that there was no fully fleshed out statistical compilation. Basically, these are just pages of text. There's nothing difficult about making something like that happen because it's been part of video games for many years. Not just sports games either. So to see this omitted from a NASCAR game, which is a sports title, year after year, I can't understand. I can't fathom what reason can you have for not implementing it. And it's even if you want to say, well, it's just something we overlooked. How can you overlook such a basic aspect of a video game year after year? And that's why I get so upset about stuff like that, because these are things that are, to me, no-brainers. I don't get mad about things that are innovative and you're pushing the boundaries, right? So if you try to do something innovative and it doesn't quite work out well, you won't see me get upset about it. I'll credit you for trying, and I'll try to encourage you to keep trying if it's a good idea. If it's not a good idea, then in my opinion, I would say, let's not focus on this. Let's go here. But the omission of statistics, the lack of presentation in all of these games year after year, to me, these are no-brainer issues that should have been addressed. It should never have been an issue in the first place. First of all, statistical compilation, right, or stat tracking, it's not even something I consider a feature. To me, features are things that are added bonuses in games, of things that didn't have to be there but are good that they're there, or things that make the game special. Stat tracking is not a feature. Stat tracking is a fundamental part of the core of a game, of any game. Even non-sports games have some sort of way to track things you do in these games. I've also made suggestions in the past that these developers should spend some time playing other sports games. Games like NBA 2K, any game in that franchise, MLB The Show, Madden Football, all these sports games, because even though they may have their issues here and there, they understand what makes a career mode work. And to me, the career mode is still the meat and potatoes of a game. And I realize a lot of people are shifting towards multiplayer, and that's fine. But you can't just ignore the offline career mode. It's still, to me, the main aspect of the game. You should, as a player, have the opportunity to experience what it's like to have a career. With all its career building aspects, and that includes presentation, that includes stat tracking. What's the point of running multiple seasons if it just feels like it's almost like just a weekly event? You go from one race to the next, but what you did 3 races ago doesn't matter. Yeah, you're racing for that year's points and championship, but once you're done, it's like you're resetting every year. You're not really compiling in a career. So if you don't have stat tracking, if there's nothing to look back on, how can you even consider that a career? And that's been my main peeve about these games. And if you go back, I've been screaming about this for about 5 years now. And to be quite honest, I haven't seen too many other people anywhere really discuss it. They might have mentioned it here and there, but I'm the one who's been on this thing. Go watch my old videos when I was talking about Eutechnics. That was my #1 peeve. And how they can continue to develop these games and never implement stat tracking, to me, is unforgivable. There's no excuse for it. And that's why I'm saying, these guys at 704, you gotta figure something out, man. Even if you can't give us a fully robust way to compile stats and track it, and I don't know, man. I don't know what the answer is right now. We're a month away from release, and you guys keep thinking, oh, the game is still in development. When you're down to the last month, they're just crossing all the T's and dotting all the I's. There's really not time to get deep into the game and address big issues. And I don't know what else to say. If you don't understand the importance of stats by now, you're never gonna understand. Have you ever tried to have a conversation with someone at a bar, anywhere, sports talk, and you're comparing athletes? Try having that conversation and never mentioning stats, the accomplishments of these athletes, which is in statistics. Try having these conversations and never mentioning once stats. It's impossible. If you want to argue about who's the best quarterback of all time, can you actually make make your point and have these conversations and never talk about passing yards, touchdowns, interceptions? Can you honestly have a legitimate conversation about which athlete's better than the other and not use stats? That's how vital stats are to sports. You cannot develop a sports game without it. And the fact that we've been getting year after year since 2011 NASCAR games with no stats, this is why I get so upset about it. What else can I say? I hope you guys take what I'm saying for what it's worth. I'm trying to help these games move in the right direction. Okay, I'm just some dude online, spewing his opinions. I get that, but together as a community, we have to work together. And 704, I know that you're having you have a lot on your plate, and I've been commending you guys. I've been saying how excited I am about this game, and I do talk about all the good stuff. So I'm not just some guy bashing these guys, but I'm fair, or at least I try to be fair. And just like I commend them, I can call them out for certain things. And I honestly thought that we were going to get stats in this game. I was excited to see it, and now it's not in the game. And honestly, I'm just telling you, this is one of the reasons that NASCAR games have been failing since 2011. Because there's no sense of accomplishment. There's no sense that you're building on something. It's just going from week to week. You run the race, and then it's off to the next race. And there's nothing to look back on. And a lot of people that are criticizing me, you know what? I guarantee you that the majority of these people, they're too young to have played the EA NASCAR games that had stats, where this wasn't even an issue. They were born and bred and raised on Eutechnics, and that's how awful Eutechnics was as a company, that they have managed to lower the bar to such an extent that right now in 2017 there are people defending the fact that this game isn't going to have offline stat tracking, and don't even understand why that's a problem, or how serious the problem is, and how much of an effect it's going to have on the final product. I'm still looking forward to this game. There's still good things to like about it, and I'm still excited about certain aspects of it, but I'm not going to lie. This thing is a huge, huge mark, a red flag on this game. And when I do finally get it, and I'm going to get it, because guess what? Like I've said, I'm a NASCAR fan, and there's no other choice. We don't have other games to choose from. If you like the type of games like Gran Turismo, guess what? You have other choices. You got Assetto Corsa, you got Project Cars, you got Forza. So you got all these games that pretty much all do the same thing in their own way. But you're not stuck. You're not like, oh my God, Gran Turismo is the only game like this. And if I'm a fan of this type of game, even though I don't like what Polyphony is doing with Gran Turismo, it's all I got. I got no choice, right? You don't feel there's no competition for NASCAR games. There's only one developer making it. I don't know what else? What are you gonna do? So when they put out a game, I'm gonna try to support it, and I'm hoping with my fingers crossed that this game actually turns out to be good enough that I'm content with it until next year. But you can't keep putting games out year after year, and they're missing the basic fundamentals in the core of the game, and expect people to wait till next year. And then you're working on mobile gaming, you're working on DLC for paint schemes and spotter packs and challenges. None of that adds anything to the game. And I don't know, man. I'm hoping that they surprise us. I told you guys I ordered a motion simulator just for racing, and that's another reason why I'm kind of sticking with these guys, because where else am I gonna, get a NASCAR game I can play on this simulator? So I'm hoping to get the simulator within the next 2 weeks. If and when I do, I'll do a video on it. I'll do a review on it. I'll show you guys what it's all about. I'm excited for it, but I was really looking forward to playing NASCAR on the simulator. So we'll see what happens. I'm really down at the moment, but that doesn't mean that I've given up all hope. That doesn't mean that I'm walking away. I'm putting my thoughts out there because I just want these guys at 704 to focus on the things that are important. I promise you, if you deliver on the things you're supposed to deliver on, the game's going to get a really good buzz, and more people are going to buy it. You got to stop trying to appease casual gamers and kids. Like, the game, it looks like it's not going to be as challenging with the racing. I hope I'm wrong. I could be wrong. But when 704 came out and they stated clearly, they were like, we felt, or other people felt, that last year's game was a little too hard. That's not a good sign. Those are things that really concern me. And I'm hoping I'm wrong. But I've seen a lot of good things, and when you do something good, I'll commend you for it. I'm not against you guys. I'm rooting for you guys. I want you guys to do something really great. I'm tired of referring to games from 15 years ago, or whatever it is, games from 2 generations ago of consoles, and telling people how great those games were, and half of the people who are buying these games today don't even know what those games were about. And the fact that we haven't been seeing a game that at least matches those games in quality, it's depressing, to be quite honest. So I'm still rooting for you guys. I look forward to, I want to see if you guys step up to the plate, man. You got to do something. You got to do something. This is inexcusable. I think I've been pretty fair. I don't know how much more fair I can be. So, what do you guys think? Hopefully, I'll get this simulator within the next 2 weeks, and I could do a video on that. And I look forward to your comments. Thanks again to all of you guys who've been supporting me. What If Racing, thumbs up to you. I really appreciate that you've helped me out, and all that stuff. So I appreciate it. And Real Rad Man, all you guys, you're doing a fantastic job. I can't do what you do. You guys are really good at what you do, and I look forward to the content you guys put out as well. So let's keep this thing moving forward. Let's stick together. Let's make sure that as a community we're on the same page. So that's all I got to say for now, and you guys have a good one.